Hello and welcome to yoga. For today's class, I suggest grabbing either a folded blanket or a cushion and also your yoga blocks. It's totally fine if you don't have any of those. You don't necessarily need them. For today's class, we're going to start seated on our mats. So you're welcome to sit up on one of your props if you're feeling a little tight. Take a moment to reach back and move your sit bones back and broad. Let your pelvis tilt forward so your low back is long. And then bring your hands to your knees, your legs, or your lap. Roll your shoulders onto your back and lift up tall to the very top of your head. And allow your eyes to close. As you take some natural breath in and out of the nose, begin to ground into your space. Notice where your feet connect with the floor. And then slowly scan up the legs, coming to the hips. Feel the weight of your hips on your cushion or your mat. Tune into that connection to the ground. And then draw your hands together to touch at your heart center. Bring your wrists more in line with your elbows and press your thumbs in towards your heart. On your inhale, lift tall through the very top of your head. And on your exhale, bow your head towards your hands. Take a full breath. And then softly open your eyes and release your hands back down to your legs. Roll your shoulders onto your back and drop right ear to right shoulder. Slowly tuck your chin down towards your chest and roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Take your head rolls side to side a few times, lengthening the sides of the neck and the back of the neck. And then bring your head to center. Keep your shoulders on your back as you take your gaze up towards the sky. Slowly draw your chin down to your right shoulder. And then take a half circle up towards the ceiling, over to your left. Draw a few half circles with your chin. Lengthening through the front of the neck and the back of the neck as you look up. And then bring your head back into center. From here, bring your hands to the floor right out in front of you, and you're always welcome to use blocks here if that's more comfortable. And from there, inhale, let your pelvis come forward, your belly come forward, take your gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, tilt your pelvis back, curl through the spine, take your gaze down towards the floor. Inhale to come forward into a cow-like pose. Exhale to stretch back into a cat-like pose. Keep going with your breath. We'll do one more round. Then inhale, come back up to your neutral spine. From here, we're going to move to hands and knees. So if you are on a hard surface, I suggest putting your blanket underneath your knees for a little extra support. And then set up your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Find a little bend in your elbows and draw them in at your sides. And then tone your low belly. You're going to reach your right foot back, toes to the floor, and start to pulse through your lower legs. So you're stretching your calf as you press back, working through your ankle and toe joints as you come forward. press your heel all the way back so you're stretching the leg, and then start to lift your hip up to the right, opening to the side. You're going to take your fingers, your right hand, to the top of your mat as far as you can reach, and then press your fingertips into the floor. From there, you're going to start to bend into your left elbow as you arch your right elbow up, right side body towards the sky. Take a big breath. Inhale, come back to hands and knees. Re-engage your shoulders onto your back. Draw slightly bent elbows in at your sides. Tone your low belly and take left foot back toes to the floor. Pulse through your lower leg on this other side. You might get a pop or a crack in one of your joints. And then with your heels stretched back, start to lift your left hip open to the side. Left fingers go to the top corner of your mat as far as you can reach. And then as you bend into your right elbow, your left elbow lifts. Arch your left side towards the ceiling and take a big breath. Inhale, come back to hands and knees. Reset wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs by bending one knee at a time as you send that other heel down towards the floor. Then come to stillness with your legs. Lift all the way up onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees until you're tailbone towards the ceiling. Reach your heels towards the floor, but they don't have to touch. And then press your hands into the ground and reach your hips away from your shoulders. On your next inhale, step forward to your forward fold. And if you have blocks, you can grab those here. With a little bend in the knees, exhale and hinge at your hips to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen to your half forward fold. Hands come to above the knees. Rotate inner thighs in towards one another and send your sit bones back and broad. On your exhale, you're hinging at the hips to fold over slightly bent legs. Take a full bend to your knees. Your arms are going to go wide. Press your feet to the floor and inhale, rise to mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to do a balance pose here. So you're welcome to grab your blocks, a chair, a desk. You can use the wall. If you do have blocks, you're going to set up one low and then one tall on top of it. You could also use a step stool or just go without anything. Take your feet inner hip distance apart and then pick up your toes and spread your toes. Grip the ground with your feet and give yourself a little bend in the knees. Tone your low belly until your tailbone towards your heels and then roll your shoulders onto your back. Bring your hands to your hips and start to shift your weight into your right foot. As you do, engage all the muscles of your foot, your ankle, your knee, your calf, your shin, your quad, your glutes, and your hamstrings. As you engage all the muscles of that right leg, bring your left foot to the outside edge of your foot, or if you'd like to, you're going to take a little bend to that right knee, and then cross your left ankle over your knee. So you can use your leg as a little bit of a bench to support your ankle. From here, start to stick your sit bones back and broad. You're going to walk your hands down your legs as you hinge forward to fold. You can bring your hands to your knee and your ankle, or you're welcome to fold farther to a prop. You decide how far you're going to fold. And then if it would feel good, you're going to lift your left hip up to the side. Take your shoulders a little to the right, and then take a big breath into your left hip crease. Inhale, work your way back into center, and slowly walk your hands back up your legs. Good. Help bring that foot to the floor, and then shake your legs out. We're going to do our other side. So pick up your toes, spread your toes, and then grip the ground with your feet. Start to shift your weight into your left leg and engage all the muscles of that left leg. Pick up your right foot and bring your toes to the outside edge of your foot, or take a little bend in that knee. You're going to lift your ankle and rest it on the knee. From here, whether your foot is lifted or not, start to stick your sit bones back and broad. Keep a flex in this foot if it is lifted, and you're going to start to walk your hands down your legs. You can stay with your hands at your knee and your ankle, or continue to fold down towards the floor. If it would feel good, lift your right hip up to the right and take your shoulders a little to the left. Take a big breath. Inhale, come back to center with your shoulders. Start to walk your hands up your legs. And then help bring that foot to the floor. Give your legs a little shake. Move your prop out of the way. Come back to the top of your mat and inhale, arms wide up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale, fold over slightly bent legs. Inhale, lengthen to your half forward fold. Exhale, fold as far as it feels good. Take your hands to clasp behind your back, and then take a nod of your head. And a shake of your head. Bring your head back into center, plant your hands, and step back into your downward facing dog. On your inhale, bring your knees down to the ground, and then you're going to let your hips come to the floor and your feet can come out in front of you. Take a comfortable seat. We'll bring our hands together at our hearts and allow your eyes to close. Bring your focus back to your breath. I'd like to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.